I mean, I could tell you what I thought of the train because I love trains, but the circus story, I don't think there are too many people who remember that. Well, it was in the mid-30s, in the heart of the Depression. I was a little girl. My mother didn't speak English, really, just a little bit. We weren't out part of the American community because it wasn't easy for my mother. So when the circus came to town, this was the Ringling Barnum Bailey Circus. We didn't get them every year, but no matter what town they went to, they came on their own train. So the train had cages, portable, for the lions and the tigers, and all the performers, that's where they slept overnight. And when they came to town, it was for 3 or 4 days because it was a very big production. And they came to town around 5 in the morning, and it took quite a while to unload that train of everybody that made the circus. But when they came up Union Street, I mean, imagine a little girl. I was astounded by what I was seeing. And they marched up the street with the elephants, you know, dragging things behind them. They were strong enough. And the animals that couldn't be out on their own in cages. And then the performers. Occasionally you might see the man on the stilts. I didn't know you could do this sort of thing, and there it was in front of me. There is this train, and there's nobody outside, and all of a sudden the world opens up, and all this magic happens there where the black whale is. These things might not seem very significant, but it is when you think about the times and the background of, well, actually an immigrant child. I'm sure it's the same thing when kids go to Disneyland, only Disneyland is much more sophisticated. But the train was different because it had a little wood house. You went in, there was actually a building, small but nice. And it had a man at the ticket window. You didn't just, you know, if you forgot, you could buy it from the conductor. But there was a man selling you tickets for the train. And then the conductor went up and down the aisle in uniform, and he'd yell out the stations coming up, and that was very exciting for me. The actual last day, I don't remember. I just know there was a very sad sense of feeling here because we were losing our train. And I will tell you, from then on, from 1950s, when I was old enough to vote, I voted for every single candidate running for governor who said, I'm bringing the train to Southeast. I never heard of such a thing as a bucket list, but everybody has a bucket list now. And my bucket list has changed substantially in the last 10 years. And in the last 3 or 4 years, it was only 2 things on my bucket list, the train and the Criterion. I made it a simple bucket list that might be a reality. I want to be there when the conductor says all aboard and it goes. I don't have to be on it, I just want to be there.